Okay. I have never done anything like this before, so I'm just gonna start. I'll do a proper tutorial later, but right now I am just going to play the game and talk about what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and I will go from there. So by now, hopefully you know that this game is Biotopia. I'm playing the free demo. I'm actually playing the testing branch of the free demo at the moment because we are in version 1.3.1 of the demo. I really enjoy Biotopia. So some important points. You can rotate, you use the mouse to put the piece around, and you can rotate using the right mouse button, and then you place with the left mouse button. The instructions are down here. Oh, it's backspace to undo, so we can click backspace and undo, or we can also click down here to undo. So let's just drop some pieces down. One of the things that I'm doing, oh, that's a beautiful piece. Ooh, it's also, oh, seriously, look at that piece. It's got two mushroomy things and carrots on it. I actually think I want it like that. And we'll put that one like that. So basically, the most important thing that I'm doing as I'm playing at the moment is I'm making sure that my trees are touching trees and my green is touching green. So whenever I have a piece that... Okay. This piece is... Nah, we'll just put it over here. So yeah, we're making sure that our trees touch trees and our green touches green. Sometimes I will place pieces like that one where the tree doesn't actually touch. Later on, I will put a tree piece in there. So, like that. Okay, then we get these beautiful pieces, and I can put that in like that to get bonuses, or I can put it like that to make the bonus zone bigger. You can only get up to 5 bonus tiles at a time, so 3 is pretty good, but it is worth considering. I will not be able to get a bonus tile in this space over here, because it has both trees and grass touching. So the two things I want to be focusing on when I've got something that only has one type on it is, can I create a nice zone, or can I set up to make a nice zone? I might actually go like that, because then that one will go like that. So this is 2 separate zones. I can get either of those separately, and both of those could be up to size 5. That's good. That's good. The other thing that I think about when I'm doing this, I have a look at what I've got coming. I can only see 3 things in advance, so I don't generally do a lot of planning around what's coming. But one thing, so... Geez, I feel like I'm going very backwards and forwards, but I did say this was just, I'm just going to play and talk about it and then go from there. I can hit spacebar to enter inspect mode, and so I can see I have a prickly woods of size 26, and this is just trees at this point. It needs 1 more before it starts registering as anything, so 4 out of 5. Water, again, it's not registering as anything, there's only 1 kind of water. And then this meadow is at 31 out of 40, so I only need to make it a little bit bigger before it registers and I want to start a new meadow. So one thing that I will often jump into this mode and check is the size of my meadow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'll be a little bit smaller, but if I made this a complete square, it's likely to be more than 40. So I probably don't want to be going outside this square anymore. At least not yet. Later on, I will probably want to make 2 squares and then join them together and then try and get that to 100. But for the most part, I just try and make squares of about size 40. Which means, when I drop this in, I'm perfectly happy to drop it somewhere like that. But there's a really nice place where it can go down here somewhere. Okay, this is one of the difficult choices. If I stick it like this, I get 2 extra bonus points. That's giving me 60 points. You can see over here if you watch. That's worth 60 points. If I put it that way around, it's only worth 40 points. That is 20 fewer points for putting it that way around. However, if I put it this way around, all 4 of those are going to be next to each other. So I am going to put it there. Snack mush is what they're called. So 4 snack mush altogether which means that when I get a, I've forgotten what they're called. I'm going to be continually forgetting what the creatures are called. Hawk. When I get a hawk, it can sit in this zone somewhere, and it will be really happy with all of those mushrooms. I think it's 20 points for each mushroom in a hawk's zone. So I could have put it the other way around, but I'll put it that way because it gives me a little bit more freedom with my hawk placement. And I will get a hawk. So it's worth thinking about the animals. So at the moment I don't have any animals. I should have one quite soon. Hawks are one of the more interesting ones. They're worth a lot of... see. So that's too big. I can... Yeah, if I put it there, the only problem is then it's a bit smaller, but that does get me over 40. So I might do that, because that gives me a meadow, and that gives me a nub. A chocolate nub. So there's 2 different kinds of nub you can get at the first level, and the other one would have been nicer. But this one will sit here somewhere. I'm not going to place it just yet, we're just going to look at it. So a nub wants at least 15 grass and then 1 sweet tubby, which is the carrot. If possible, it's good to get... Oh no, I can stick it like that. It's good to get 2, but I've managed to place them just too far apart, so I can't get both of them. But that's fine. We may have some more by the time I get another one, or I might have another rabbit nub. So we will wait. Now I've got more grassland, but I don't want to continue joining them together. So I want to decide where I do want to put it. Let's set it there like that. So as of now, 1 piece of grass will join them together, but I can keep building this as its own separate grassland and get to size 40, which will get me the next thing on the grasslands track. So I think we must have... we've just got the pieces from level 4. So now we're starting to get the swampland, the bog. We'll put that down there. And immediately... Wait, we can fix that. We will put it... So what I'm trying to do now is the next pieces I have both grassland and bog on them. So I'm going to try and put them all next to each other so that I can get the grassland and the bog sitting nicely. I don't want to put it here because I'm going to join the grass, put more grass there. So I guess I'll just put it like that. Now, it's not a bad thing to have a piece sitting like this so that you have a hole. But it is something you want to be aware of because you want to avoid those holes in the late game. Having them causes problems. Might just go like that and like that. And then I will fill in the edge of that with bog later on. Look at that. That is a nice fit. Okay, now, this is not something I planned, but it's not worth not doing this. So if I place this one here, it's going to close off this forest, which means I won't be able to put any more pieces into that forest, but it will also give that forest a bonus in the number of points it gives me. So at the moment, honestly, it's probably not worth that many points. It's 7 pieces. I'll go over how much points are, but by placing this piece here, I'm going to get 51 points, you can see. Not worthwhile, but on the flip side, in order to make this forest bigger, I would have to expand the forest out here and probably zigzag around like that, and then that's going to get in the way with the water. So I would rather just close it off, get that tiny handful of bonus points, and have that finished. We can go there, there. I'm looking forward to having a sideboard to put those pieces on. I can slot that in there and get a full 5. Put that there, there. Oh, So I also want to be careful to make sure that I don't run out of spaces where I can expand this, because I know I want this grassland to be of size 40, and I cannot touch this grassland until it reaches that point. So instead of putting it there, I'll put it there so I've got a little bit more space to maneuver. One of the things that I think to myself is, like, you don't rely on luck, you just leave space for luck. We've got another water coming, so I don't mind having a hole in my water like that. Ooh, see, this is risky, because if I put that there, then I've got to go around that tree, so I think I actually want to put it like that. This water, I can go like that. Okay, we've just reached lake rank 2, which means we now have a Fisk. Fisk are really easy to place, but also not worth a whole lot of points. So they want at least 15 water, and they can have, looks like up to 21 water. So I could have theoretically put it here and then just get one more water into that space to get a perfect Fisk, which is 155 points. Not much, but worth having. I could also stick it over here and just accept that I'm only getting 150 points. Same for here, I'd only get 150. We're not going to place it yet, just because I like to save all of my animals until late game so I can figure out the best placement for all of them. Yeah, that looks good. Now, this water's already made it over 50, so we might as well start a new little patch of water over here. Like that, I think. Is that gonna be... Yep, that'll hit 40. Okay, let's talk about this. So, we have a prickly woods, a leafy woods, and technically this one over here is a mixed woods. So, the ratio is, I believe, you can have up to 20% not of the primary tree. So this is mostly trees prickly, and then over here we've got a couple of trees mixed. So there's a trees mixed there, a trees mixed there, a trees mixed there, and trees mixed there, trees mixed there, and then prickly. So there's five mixed trees in this zone of 40. So that's, we'll keep it as a prickly wood. Yeah. When I complete the prickly wood, which let's do that and have a look. I like that. So we get another animal, and the animal we've gotten is a humble antlier. So whenever we complete a prickly wood, we get a humble antlier. When we complete this leafy wood, we will get a noble antlier, and when we complete a mixed wood, then we will get a hawk. A certain kind of hawk, but we will find out when we get there. So the humble antlier is this one with this really long zone. That sits really nicely just there. So that's worth 213 points, which is pretty close to the maximum you can get for an antlier. We could theoretically get more if we set it like that, 253, because it's got so many snack munch in there. So each one of those snack munch is giving us another 10 bonus. Again, I'm not going to place the antlier yet, and this is not a good placement for the antlier for a couple of different reasons, which I'll talk about when we're doing animal placement later. The second time we complete a level on a forest, so if I were to get another prickly now, then I would get the wolf, which is the carnivore for the forest. And so I'll be trying to get that with a mixed wood after I've got a hawk. I try to do at least one antlier before I get some mixed stuff, mostly because antliers are harder to get, and because I do not want to end up in a situation with multiple wolves. But the antliers still aren't worth as many points as a hawk, so the hawks are better to get, and I will try and get those where possible. We could go there, but I think I like that better. And we'll just put a little So now this is another one, but we'll stick it on here. So, yeah, that'll be good. So I've got this one coming, and I know that I can put that in there and then fill in that entire space, which is going to be awesome. Put that like that. Put that like that. And so now I can drop this one in and fill in that entire space. You can see if I would, yeah, no matter where I put it, I fill in the entire space. So one thing, I can't really tell, I don't know if it's been patched. Yeah, you can see it happening. So some of these, sometimes when I place it, so when I place it down here, you can see that down this end, it comes in as different kinds of tree. So now there's no pricklies down that end. Whereas other times when I drop it in, you can see that they're, oh wow, that one is all leafy. And now it's like mixed or prickly for most of it. Doesn't really matter. It's sometimes, depending on how you're playing, it can be fun just to see what pretty patterns. I like doing it with the boglands because they get some really pretty stuff going on in the boglands. But mostly it does make a slight difference if you're trying to get a particular... So if we have a look at this now, you can see it's now a mixed wood, which is what we want. That'll get us a hawk. And we just want to keep the ratio such that it stays as a mixed wood. Yeah, that's good. So we can put that there. So this is the one that I was talking about before. You can see that when you drop this in, so this is nothing except visual difference, but I do find it very satisfying to try and get like certain aesthetically pleasing things. That wasn't particularly pleasing, but that's fine. Ooh, so I've got a choice. I can either stick this up with the boggy or down with the trees. I do not have any areas where boggy are touching trees at the moment. So no matter where I put this, only one of them is going to touch its goal. I think I want to focus on making a really nice bogland this time, so we'll put it up here. That one's got snack munch in it, so we'll put it next to the other snack munch. Same problem again. I just said I wanted to make a nice bogland, so we'll put that here. That'll sit like that quite nicely. We can put that there. So, deciding where to put this, if I had a hole, I would be putting this in the hole. Otherwise, I want to look at somewhere where I'm going to have difficulties putting things in later. So this area up here, so that's one of the more useful spots because it joins everything together. But I'm probably going to put it down here because this slot will not autofill. So we'll put that there. So yeah, I'll often decide where to put things based on whether they will be able to autofill later and create little corners where I can autofill and things like that. It's annoying. Oh no, like that. So, because I've built these corners, this T will now automatically do an autofill, depending on where I put it. And that's actually finished up to 40 as soon as I place it, so I might actually place it down here a little bit. There we go, we can look at that. That's some really nice autofill. There we go. We got some water down here. We'll go like that. Okay, Okay, this is our first piece of swampland. Swampland is the last biome we get in the demo. And as such, it's not quite as developed, and we can't expect to get as many pieces of it as we get of the other things. But it's still quite neat to work with. Oh, you can see as I put that one in, this piece is a water one. I kind of want to put it like that. No, we'll put it like that, and then this piece can go there. There we go. So that's Meadows rank 2, and that will give us a, oh, you can see all the animals we've been collecting up, a foxote. So now we can join these two together, and I might place it, oh, choices. No, we'll place it there. I don't know whether I want to finish this forest or try and build it out into like a annoying narrow strip. The problem is narrow strips like that aren't good for animals, so it's not hugely beneficial. I mean, I could just place it like that and finish that little forest. It's only a handful of points. I should talk about how many points these pieces are worth. So if I place this piece where it touches absolutely nothing off the edge of this water, it's worth 4 points. That is 2 points for each tile that's being placed. It's 2 tiles, so it's worth 2 points. 2 points for each tile, so it's worth 4 points. Then if I place it next to forest, for each... That's gaining 4 points. That's gaining 8 points. Yeah! I think those numbers have changed. But yeah, so for each other thing it touches, so if the forest touches 2 forests, you get 4 points for each of those, so that's 2 base points, plus 10 points for each, 4 for each of the 2 touching, and then 2 points for the grassland. So if I can get it touching lots of good stuff, so over here, oh no, that one's only getting 8 points. 4 and 4, yeah, that's right. I don't think that, oh yeah, there. That's 12 points. However, if I put it here, you can see I'm getting 20 points. That's because this little completed zone, which is worth 12 points, is then getting another 6 points added onto it. I could write down and do the math for that, but basically you get more points if you close zones. If I do that, then I definitely can't close that zone. If I do that, there's still a chance. Coming up, you can see I've got a single and that one. Well, I can go there and then put the single in that hole. I'm really not sure. I don't want to leave any holes as the issue. Yeah, let's do that. And I can put this beautiful one there to join. Let me double check that. Yes, both of those are finished. There's my hawk. So let's have a quick look. So you can see I could stick the hawk. Oh geez, I'm going to want to fill in the rest of that to get the maximum value for the hawk. I could stick it there for 260 points. I can't get more than 4 of those. Oh no, if I were to stick it there. But yeah, so for the hawk, each snack munch they get is worth 20 points. Honestly, I think I want to put it there. But we will join those together. The bog is finished, so we probably want to start making another bog. Somewhere that we can hypothetically join them together. So let's stick it just there. Let's have a look. If we were to put the hawk want that square to be... Yeah, that's alright. So we've just said that we will need this one. There we go. Let's put this one here. So rather than trying to get maximum, so that would get me the most points for placing this piece. I'm going to stick it like that to give me lots of little corners that I can hopefully get free tokens from later. Let's hook it like that. Okay, so now I'm running out of pieces, which means that I'm, based on piece placement alone, I am not going to make it to level 8. That is okay. We planned for that. We'll just have that one there, and so you can see now I can place that there, or like that, to get that +1. And I put it there so I can get those two near each other, just in case I get something that wants to eat them. So, now we can look at placing some animals. I have to place animals. I only need to get another 300 points to make it to the next level. Let's start with the Fisk, because I like placing the Fisk just there. And what else? So basically I want to place something that I know I'm not going to want to move, like not going to want to wish I'd placed somewhere else later on. But there looks really good for the hawk because that is worth a lot of points. And there we go, we have more pieces to place. So we'll put that there. So we got some, there we go. We got some choices here. So I was going to place it, yeah, that's the best way to place it anyway. So here what I'm doing is I'm trying to close this grassland as well as complete the grassland. So right now I'm focusing on building an edge where it's all grassland on the inside. That means that when I place some grassland pieces in here, it'll autofill really nicely. So I can see I've got some different pieces coming up and I can plan around that. Oh shoot. So I messed up. I can't remember when I did it. You would have watched me do it. At some point I joined these two bogs together when I didn't intend to. I think when I placed that bit of grass. Pay attention, try not to do that, especially when you plan around not doing that, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Looks good. So for this grassland, I'm kind of holding out for when I get pieces that only have grass on them, and basically just hoping that that will happen. It should happen, but it's not guaranteed. I'm just kind of relying on luck for that. That will be the end of the meadow. Well, maybe that will be the end of the meadow zone. If I get more nice little tree pieces... Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, we'll go like that. Yeah, so I'm not going to worry about trying to build 2 of those anymore. I have messed it up and we'll just get what we get. Sometimes that happens. So once again, you can see I am going to mess up. I can place that there. Couple different options. I think I like that best. Huh. Interesting. So I need another 700 points across 6 animals. That's pretty doable, but is a little annoying. So you can see I have an wolf. An wolf wants to eat 2 large prey. Ooh, that's annoying. So I want to try and place my deer inside this wolf zone, because I only have 1 deer. So as powerful as it would be to put the deer here, it would probably be better to put it over here somewhere. Oh, that's not nice. We will look at those later. If we can put off placing those until later, that would be good. Our Rainroller Frode lives in Bogland and wants to eat darters, these little dragonfly things. Again, no super good place to put it. I mean, that's pretty good. But we might focus on our nubs. So we can have that nub there, that gets full points. But it does cause problems for this one. We could go there instead. There's no, like, really good places. So what I'm looking for is 2 places that I can put these nubs, so that then the foxote can eat them both. Unfortunately, these 2 are a little close to the edge for my liking. So we might put that one like that. And let's see where we can get the fox. So we're going to put the fox there, and then you can see, oh, that's horrible. It doesn't quite reach. I can put it there though. So let's go there, and as you can see, this is getting me points not only for the nub, it's also getting me points for the fox having met its target. So we can zoom in and have a close look at what's going on here. So the foxote has met both of its targets for 150 bonus points. This one, again, met both its targets for 100 bonus points, and met both its targets for 100 bonus points. So yeah, hitting those targets is really important for getting high scores, especially with animals. We might put that in there. And as you can see, I've made it to the next level. I can start placing pieces again. Let's go there. That looks good. Now, if I'm really lucky, we will get the animal I want. Let's go there. Two extra carrots. Do either of these? Yeah, neither of my rabbits are covering zones that we haven't already touched. Let's stick that there. Not useful. Yeah, there, that's good. Okay, so this mixed forest is already over 100. So I'm not going to get any more bonus points for building it up. So it's not really worth continuing it except to close it, which I really messed that up and I don't think I'm going to be able to close that. So let's just start building up this tiny little forest here. Hey, there's our swamp. Let's see what we got. Hey, it's the Scruffed Hawk. The Scruffed Hawk is the one I was hoping for. And you can see that I can place that like that and get 305 points. That's so good. And honestly, there's no reason not to place that, but I like saving my animal placements until I absolutely have to do it. Since there's no... Yeah, let's put it there. There's no real reason to do that. I don't think I can get a second swamp zone, but I figure I might as well try. Not looking good. 6 pieces left, 4 animals. I should make the next level. So I generally count on getting 200 points per animal. Not all animals will get me that many, and as you can see, the hawk that we have left to place is going to get me 3,000 points. So it's more of like a rule of thumb that I use for myself. Go there. Where do I want to put the... Oh, I know, just there. It would be better if I could put a tree in there, because then it would touch those 2 trees. Or 3 trees. Nah, we'll hold out for a tree. I'm not going to get another tree this level, but hopefully I'll get one in the next set. We will put that there, though. And we'll put that one there. Okay, this is actually going to be really close. Fortunately, we're probably going to have to place every animal, but every animal should do it. That is horrible road placement. So I can place it here and get both bonuses to 10 points. Placing it there only gets me 160. So it's not worth it, but it is annoying. It'd be really nice if I could place it just there. But we will place it just like that. Okay, now I've got an wolf and a humble antler to place. So ideally I want to place that. That's where the wolf is going to go. And then let's see where we can get the antler. Yeah, look at that, 300 points. Now the problem is I won't be able to feed those carrots to a nub, but I think that's fine. We'll put that there. Okay, this is the last level. So from here we are just maximizing our score. We do not have to worry about hitting any targets. That's it. This is the end. We are still going to try and do the best we can though, because it's always nice to do the best you can. Hey, there's that one tree I said we needed. Okay, so... Oh, we are going to hit 100. Look at that. Bog rank 3. So that's given us a cotton-toothed snerms. They're adorable. And it's going to want to eat the frode that we put down earlier. Yeah. not really much point to continually making this bigger. But it is quite sad. Oh, there is a point. Somewhere just here. Yeah. There's a couple points where we want to make it bigger for the road. We've only got 18 pieces left, so we're not... Ooh. I think I can do better with that one. So we'll just slot that one in like that. Yeah, look at that. Then there's only one spot left. Unfortunately, I don't... There! Perfect! Look at that. That's glorious. I still need to do something about that hole. We'll leave it for now. And use this drop of water there. And hopefully I calculated all of that correctly. Double check my dear friend. Yeah, those two spaces. Look at that. More points because I'm getting the... It's not a good placement, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want those points. And that one will sit there quite nicely. Yeah. Now that's actually a second pond, so I might get another Fisk. We'll put that one there. Now that there is probably a good call. With only 12 left, yeah. See, if I put it that there, it joins them together. Which, for now, we're still avoiding. I've only got 10 pieces left, so I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything about it. But I can hope. That, however... Ooh, choices. I think we'll go there, but that completes the meadow and should get me another nub. Look at that, another chocolate nub. That's the same one we had earlier. You can see that it's the same as that one. And yeah, I'm probably going to want to stick it somewhere down here. If I can stick it somewhere inside the fox's range, that would be cool. But it's not going to get any carrots, and so it's just not worth the points. Sticking it somewhere like that, if I can fill in this zone, that'd be really good. Jane, only 8 pieces left, so... I don't think I'm going to get the pieces to finish this. Let's start doing... Fill! Yeah, 4 left. So that's the one in my hand plus 4 more. So those 3 and then 1 more. That dot though, that blue dot will go right there really nicely though. But... I don't have a lot of options for filling in this space. Let's place that one... Let's place that there. Okay, so we're going to have an L shape. But it's the other L shape. With any luck, I should be able to use that one and that final L. We'll see how we go. Do I have a plan for the... Oh, yes. Okay, so all I'm doing with this piece, we will switch into... Yep, so we can see this one has these pieces covering it, and this one just has that one little edge piece there. So if I can cover that edge piece and all of those inner pieces, we will have a completed zone. Look at that! All of those zones are completing. That's going to get me 528 points. There we go. And then I've just got 2 animals left to place. Our nub, which we can't actually place here like we wanted to. So nubs are only allowed to go in... Yep, only allowed to go on grassland. So yeah, I cannot get both of those carrots. I can come down here and get that carrot thing. Or I could... Yeah, no, we want to get a carrot. 200 points to go there. Yeah, that's our best placement. And finally, our cotton-tooth gnomes. Yeah, that sits really nicely just here somewhere. 26, 26, 27, 25. So that's our best place. 831 points. Not my best, but still pretty good. We can have a look. Closing that one was really powerful. That one was also... So anything with the hard line around the outside was closed.